we're back. We finished Lena's ending. A good ending. Which means we need to... Wait, what's going on? No? Ah, here we go. So, and we'll do a... Yes, that's fine. And we go to cheat sheet. A little bit bigger. Okay. So, I kind of want to do the bad ending with Lena, see what happens. Lena's score is at least 6. So we need 6 points. And we need 6 points at this very... Alright. Oh. Yeah, we're doing a new game then. Oh, and we skip all this. Oh. And we get a thing right at the start. Come with me. Yes, no. I think I've picked yes both times, and since it doesn't matter... Oh no, I'll stay here. Every time it's so hard to decide on the answer. Oh, it didn't matter. Right, what do we do? Do we reply? Yes. I think we did that every time. Run away from Elisa. Let's don't. Oh, actually, no, I can't get any points. So, yes. You know what? Kind of don't want to do full screen here. Let's... Oh. Can we do like so? No. Give me a moment here. Ah, here we go. And then we want to split this vertically. And we want it... No? That's not what I wanted. I want to be over here. Split vertically. And we want to start... Why is... Oh, right. Because I need to do this first. There we go. Now we can open this. Even smaller, I think. Here we go. I mean, it's not perfect, but it's mine. So let's attempt to take it. I've seen that before, I think. I looked at her menacingly and was about to reach up my hand, and we've seen that before. We've done both of these. So let's pick the keys. Okay. So Can I take notes? Like, it's here to take notes somewhere? Nope. Let's praise the book. +1. A good book. Day 2. Oh, dinner with Juliana. I don't think we've done that. Nonetheless, I decided to go have lunch. Oh, we have not done that. So, now, do this and have it in full screen. Nice. The checklist isn't going to run away. I'll get it signed later, while my stomach clearly won't wait till dinner. With these thoughts, I entered the canteen. There was almost nobody inside. Apparently, most pioneers had lunch already. That is the English way to say it, right? Had lunch already? Or am I just... Never mind. A lunch lady of impressive proportions provided me with a glorious meal of 3 dishes. A soup, ypresbröd, goulash from Leventry Pavlovik, garnished with potatoes, boiled according to the craziest fashions of the 15th century, and a periodic table compote. Hardly a 5-star restaurant would envy, but I was too hungry to care. After all, compared to my usual meal of ramen or macaroni and cheese, this indeed wasn't too bad. Sat at the nearest table and concentrated on chewing. My focus was soon disturbed by a sudden mighty slap on my back. I even choked. Juliana was standing in front of me with a victorious look on her face. I'll choke the life out of you one day. Catch me if you can. She stuck her tongue out. You tried and you couldn't. All right, then I'll ambush you somewhere. That's not fair. Look who's talking, Miss Fair Play. I grinned. Okay, you wait, I'll get some food and come back. We'll eat together. Could do without such a company. Better hurry up with my lunch. However, Rihanna came back after just half a minute. Whew. Just gotta fix one thing here. There we go. She had a huge roast beef on her plate and a few large boiled potatoes. Compared to my royal feast. Where did you get that? You gotta know places. She looked at me and grinned at, with all her 32 or however many she had teeth. I won't stand for this. I never was master of pranks, and in school I often found myself on the bullied side. But I had to get back at her somehow. What if Olga finds out that you're stealing food? I'm not stealing, she flared up. That's what you're going to tell her. I wonder if that is what you're going to tell her. I wonder if she'll believe you. How would she know? Well, that depends. Many things. Like what? Liana looked me in the eyes. Bring me a bun. A sweet one. Where am I supposed to get it? Well, the same place you got all of this. Pointed at her plate. She hesitated. All right, 1 bun. I promise you won't tell Olga. You have the word of a pioneer. She ran off towards the kitchen. Without hesitating, I opened the pepper box and emptied it into her drink. Nice. Just as I finished, the restless girl came back. Here, you racketeer. Looks like she didn't notice. Okay, now, who drinks? Wait, okay. Now, who drinks his last compost? Last carries trays. Don't be silly. Silly, watch me. I won't play these childish games. Look who's talking, I smiled maliciously. You watch me then. 1, 2, 3. She didn't even let me grab my glass, and in one quick motion downed her drink. Get wrecked. In just 1 second, her expression changed to that of an authentic terror. Her cheeks went red and her eyes were about to pop out. Oh, God. This is rough. She jumped from the table and rushed to the table with the drinking water, spitting and yelling as she went. You! I decided not to wait for her and went outside giggling to myself while finishing my bun. Alright. That was quite fun. Now we don't need to be full screen anymore. So, I'm guessing none of these matter now. Pretty sure we've been all over the place. So let's go to the library. Actually, I love reading. And we go to the clubhouse. And we go to the infirmary. And go to the music club. I'm pretty sure I went with Slavia the last turn. So let's go alone. I'll go get them. Fine, they're in my cabin in the desk drawer, says Olga. I headed toward Olga's place. Oh, I haven't went with Slavia both the other times. So let's go full screen again. Why did I agree anyway? Then again, what choice did I have? There's nothing to do here at night. At least I'll have some fun. With my mind kept nagging me about this not being a good time to have fun. On the other hand, if there actually exists a camp with pioneers, then it must be someone's doing. And even if it's not true, then the most logical thing is to seek answers here, not in the forest or the fields. But at this very moment, the answer is going to be playing cards. I opened the door with my own key and went inside. To my surprise, there were no cards inside. Instead, it was full of cups, forks, knives, plates, scotch tape, scissors, rubber gloves, a piece of rope, a few plastic bags, pencils, and a few broken pens. Everything except the playing cards. Maybe I should look in the closet? It was full of Olga's clothes. But a small drawer with a keyhole on top caught my eye. I pulled, but it didn't open. I wonder if she's hiding something. Forcing it open wasn't the best idea, even if the cards were in there. I was just turning to leave, and as I remembered something. Slavia forgot her keys yesterday. They're here. What if? For a moment I hesitated, but then approached the closet and started picking a key for the lock. Of course, it would be strange to expect a result indeed. Why would Slavia carry a key for Olga's personal chest? But to my surprise, another key slid into the lock and turned a few times without a problem. Suddenly, the door squeaked behind me. I jumped and turned around. There was nobody in the cabin. Was it the wind? I carefully looked outside. Not a single person in sight. Perhaps it was nothing, but I still felt uneasy. I even looked to the bushes by the cabin, but then decided to go back and seek out all the dark secrets of our chief. Simeon, what's taking you so long? Yes. With shaking hands, I turned the key and jerked it out of the lock. Slavia came closer. Ah, my keys. I thought I'd lost them. Where did you find them? They were in the bushes outside. Found them just now. Thank God I managed to close it before she saw. Shall we go? I wanted to get out as fast as possible and preferably forget about my attempt to violate someone's privacy. That's rough. When I got back, Olga informed me. Sorry, I remember the cards. We're in Slavia's cabin. She fetched them while you were looking. I looked at Slavia. She meekly smiled. Come on, guys, don't you worry about me. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. Slavia and Olga went inside. Wrong. So I'm guessing we got 1 point. So we get 1 extra point. So yeah, let's don't bet. Skip the tutorial. All right. So this time, let's wait. We did get +1, so let's change this to 2. We did have 2 points, and we probably can lose against Lena. Oh, win against Lena. Lose against Uliana. Wait. We didn't go to the stage, I don't think. I think I won against Juliana, so skip the tournament and lose against Juliana. Where should I head to? On the stage. I'm guessing the next thing we do is Juliana. Well, not this time, but after this time. The events of the past day kept flashing brightly in my head. That stupid, useless checklist. This foolish tournament. We won against Lena and lost against Juliana. Tonight I had no intention of doing anything or talking to anybody. The investigation of my complicated situation was the last thing on earth I would do this evening. I headed to the north. At least, where I thought it was. It was my habit from my youth to go to the north. I like this part of my hometown more than the southern districts. Traveling to the Black Sea resorts was never my thing either. Boundless forests and fields were much closer to me than beaches and barcans. Several minutes later, an open air stage consisted of several wooden benches and a platform appeared before my eyes. I climbed onto the stage. So much varied musical equipment, loudspeakers, a microphone, a stand, and even a piano. I imagined a crowd of people in front of me, everyone screaming, shouting my name, myself blinded by the spotlights. I imagined a guitar in my hands and attempted to play a long, striking solo. I suppose it looked pretty funny from a stranger's point of view, a weird guy swinging his arms on stage, jumping around like an ape and making faces. I hope no one can see me here. Hey, says Juliana. Piped up from somewhere above. Oh. I looked up and saw Juliana hanging over the beam under the stage ceiling. What are you doing here? She asked. I'm just... Denial is obviously futile. You saw it, didn't you? I said in frustration and turned away. Oh, I see I wasted guitar talent in you. I said nothing. Hey, come on, don't frown. It was funny enough, she giggled. Funny enough, eh? I huffed. Yep. Leanne answered calmly. Come up here, dude. Where to? To me. I ain't gonna get up there. Don't even try to convince me. Not that I have a fear of heights, it's just that climbing up there is pointless, isn't it? No. Just get over here. Felt in my bones that something was going wrong, but still slowly headed her way. When I found myself standing under Rihanna, she cried out, Catch me! Oof. Oh, please don't do this. Thousands of thoughts flashed through my mind in an instant. How would I catch her? Is it worth trying? What if she dies? What if she breaks something? What the hell? Why the hell does this happen to me? That's her own fault. No more fooling around. Why? What a number of thoughts come and go in the blink of an eye when sometimes many years are not enough to come up with a single idea. At last, logic and self-preservation instinct won the battle. I stepped back. That is not okay. That picture, it's not okay. Liana landed gently, tumbled, instantly jumped to her feet and looked at me with offense. Holy moly, why didn't you catch me? You didn't get hurt, I answered, shifting my glance. What if I did? You didn't. What's up with you? Watched too many B movies recently? So, don't you care about me? She grinned. Well, in this situation, certainly I do care. Flattered. Hey, don't get any ideas. Okay, you're forgiven for the cards. And you are not. I had no time to finish the sentence. Juliana jumped off the stage, then vanished into the dark night. With one more childish trick from a silly girl. Surely I was worried about her at that moment, as I would for anyone else in her place. After once again cursing Liana in my mind, I headed towards my cabin. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. There was no light in the window, so Olga must be sleeping already. I think we've done this. Yep. Alright, we've done that. Breakfast with Lena. So that's 1, 2, that's 4 possible points today. Okay, so yeah, let's get the. Actually, no, I think. Where are we? We're here with Chenya, and that gives me nothing. So yeah, sorry, I promised Lena. Where does this go? I can skip the Lena thing. Oh wait, let's change this to 3. Made 6 points, so okay, I'll come. Go take a look. Don't think I've done this. I have done this. Accept Alice's invitation. Hello, Quiche. Power up, PX Cat. So, wait, I'm confused. Let's say, okay, I'll come. So that's 2 now, I think. Rather pick the ladder. Oh. Where am I? Here we go. We're down here. Did I miss? No, go to the party. Oh, I haven't gone to the party yet. Let's stay and clean up. Because we've run away. We did that last time. Alright, so let's stay now. And we go through all this. Oh, here we go. We won't go to Elisa since we're trying to get this ending. So let's go to the dance party. We haven't done that. We're pissing Elisa off majorly. Wait, did I go to the dance party? Oh, I have to go to the dance party. Oh. Start there, she says, somewhere there, start. Are you afraid? Not really. If you want to, okay. But can I? I've done this. Yeah. Danced with Lena. Yep. And we didn't get any plus, we just pissed off Elisa. Wait, what's this? Elisa looked as usual. Didn't seem like she was going to start a fight over me missing the performance. I had promised to come to see her before. Well, if she doesn't feel like talking about it, then why would I? Aren't you gonna get your food? Says Juliana. Good idea. Oop. Right, so. Is this looking for Shurik? Wait. Boathouse. This is not it, is it? Completely. No, I think this is it. Alright, yeah. First, come to the bus stop with Miku, yeah. We haven't done Lisa's Revenge, but by Balder, right? Let's go to the bus stop. Let's go with Miku. I think. I mean, we might as well let Elisa get her revenge. Oh. She did get her revenge. Just forget. Oh, I think you'd look gorgeous. Now we need to add an extra point, so we're up to 3 again. Food poisoning. Don't ask about the bundle. No, thank you. Oh, she gave me one of her sweet smiles. Wait, did I miss? Good luck, I shouted at her. Thank you. Gave me one of her sweet smiles before leaving. And so give it to her, I suppose. Eat the apple. Just do not eat the apple. Okay, so I'm guessing I want to go with Lena, so I can get +1 more. Yeah, let's go with Lena. And we've done all this. So fast forward, we find Shurik, he blacks us out, and we want to go right. So go right, go right, go right, and then go right again, then go right, and again. There we go. Shurik comes, he knocks us out, and she behaves super strangely. And I went low. And we're up to 4 points. Yes, hello. Get the wire for Uliana. No. No gives her a plus. That's very weird. Canteen. I don't. I haven't done this. I don't think. I always took good care of my health, and even better at moments where I couldn't bear it anymore. And now I was able to walk on my feet, and they weren't even hurting anymore. What time is it, by the way? 11:21. So my feet will heal up eventually, while hunger drives the wolf from the wood. Surely the pioneers didn't finish up everything. At least a couple of sausages, eggs, or in the worst case, a few pieces of bread should be left. It was so deserted and quiet around the canteen that I even hesitated for a second. Isn't it here where every pioneer seeks his happiness 3 times a day? And some even more often? Isn't it an oasis of this heated summer desert? Isn't it a secret chemical lab studying how types of meals unknown science affect immature teenage bodies? Wait, what? Now this building looked more like a bastion abandoned by its defenders, kind of La Rochelle left by the Huguenots. I don't know that story. Just get in, and the ghosts of warriors who accepted a heroic death here will surround you. It's Valhalla. The canteen looked the way it always did, though, which is completely empty, except for Miku, who was cleaning a table. Seeing that, I quickly turned around and tried to sneakily escape, but I didn't manage to make it. Hi, Simeon, did you come here to eat? You missed breakfast, didn't you? I mean, I didn't see you. You could have been there, but I didn't see you. It's good that you came anyway. Hi? Well, yes, I just came wondering if there's anything left, maybe? There's nothing left. You need to eat for lunch. You won't help me. By the way, I'm cleaning up here. What for? What do you mean? She puffed up her lips and seemed offended. Somebody has to clean up. We do it in turns. You will have to do it. You'll have your turn as well. Thanks, but no. Okay, I got it. I was going to leave, but Miku still couldn't stop. So will you help me? Okay. I don't know why I agreed. Because I forced you not to be the asshole that you actually are. I don't know why I agreed. It happens often that you make a decision first and then wonder for quite a while why you didn't. Why did you say what you said? Is this a breakage of breaking the fourth wall? Like he makes a decision and I make another decision for him. You think again and again and still can't figure out why on earth you did that. No, probably not. It's like we've all, like, I think a lot of people, like, retrospectively, when you look back at some points, you get like, why? Oh, why did I do that? I think that's I mean, it happens in live situations. That's how I felt wiping the tables one after another. You know, I came up with a new song. Want me to sing it? Yeah. Not eager at all. Why not? No. She started to think. It would be hard to sing and clean up at the same time. I'll sing it later then. Nika gave me a disarming smile. Yes, of course. So cool how you saved Shurik yesterday. The entire camp has been talking about it, only about it since early this morning. Well, only it? Oh. I feel just like a hero. It was nothing much really. No, really, I'm serious. I would never dare to go in the woods at night, into the old camp. You know the rumors about it, about the camp leader who shot herself? Before they said she hanged herself? It's so scary in general. Yep, it probably is. Just there. Just there, and I tried to isolate myself from external stimuli and concentrate on the cleaning. It helped me to finish sooner than I expected. And now it is done. Thanks. There was quite a bit of time till lunch, so I decided to go for a walk. I picked a random direction, which could be explained by the single word forward. In the end, I found myself at the square. This wasn't a surprise, as the monument of Genda appeared to be the central hub of this camp. And a kind of kilometer zero. Don't know. Lost in translation, probably. I sat on the bench and started to think. Ground zero? Oh, it's the center point. I sat on the bench and started to think. 4 days have passed and I haven't even gotten an inch closer to working out how I got here. It's true that quite a few strange things happened during this time, but almost every one of them can be explained logically after careful thinking. Every single one of them could have happened in normal life. Normal life. This term lost its original meaning to me here. Reaction to the environment, the actions and words of other people, or my own words, indeed. None of this here is normal. In the past 4 days, my world view had taken a serious painful of punches to the stomach and uppercuts, which led to it being, if not knocked out, then seriously knocked down. Sometimes I don't understand why I act one way or the other, or say some things. Actually, I do understand, but not straight away. Such afterthoughts, however, don't help me to act differently, more sanely and appropriate to the situation at all. Yeah, it's like we rationalize our behavior after the fact. That's common human behavior. We think we explain it rationally, but it's called conjecture. It's like emotional and reactionary. Yeah, there we go, reactionary. Moments of truth happening to me are becoming more and more rare. If my only wish during the first day was getting out of here, then now my main concerns are where to find food, how to avoid lying up in the morning, and what to say Olga if Alisa complains about me. And those things are truly important to me. And day after day, daily fuss like this overshadows the thoughts in my head about how world around me, together with this camp and these girls, are completely abnormal. Finally, some honesty from them. But I can't do anything about myself, because I just forget. In the same way we breathe without thinking about it, I'm joining in the everyday life of the local inhabitants more and more without realizing it. This, I like this. I'm steadily becoming an average pioneer. No, this is wrong, I shouted loudly and slapped my face a few times. All of a sudden, the bell sound calling the pioneers for lunch came from the loudspeakers. Finally, I ran, skipping along to the canteen, leaving my inspiring thoughts back at the square, where they could sound interesting to Genda alone, and only if he was alive. All right, let's check. Do I want to go with Lena? Probably. Here we go. Go with Lena, and that's +2, right? Go with Lena, so we're up to 6 then. Nope. Right. Actually, girl helps. Okay, but that's not all. And here we go to the library. Gotta go to the library. Take the book. Stay on guard. Up here, we had done that before. Go to the clubhouse. I've seen this before. Go to the infirmary. Alright, so, Lena's route. Try to find out what they are arguing about. That's 6, right? So we should be fine. Boom. Yeah, Lena's route. So, now we should be able to get the bad ending, I think. Here we go. We've done all of these. That was what we needed 6 for, right? Lena scored with at least 6 and less than. Yeah, that's fine. So, now I don't help Elisa, and then we get the bad end. Nice. So, back to full screen. However, he wasn't here either. There he is. Do not interfere. I've decided that whatever happens, it doesn't concern me. Oh, but it does, though. But on the other hand, how can I remain indifferent? Am I a real man? Wait. Do we end up in the exact same spot? Yeah? What are you doing? It was close to 10 p.m. Well, it's probably time to get up. I gave Lena a gentle nudge on the shoulder. She opened her eyes. Good morning. Well, evening, in fact. Hi, she smiled tenderly. Time to get up, sleepyhead. Are you in a hurry? Well, no. But we're completely alone in this camp. So what? Took a good look at me. Well, nothing. When will Olga return? Is it that important to you? She got a heavy look on her face. Well, without food, we're going to die here, I laughed. You're free to leave, then. She looked away towards the wall. How can I leave? On the bus, of course. There are no buses here. Then why do you think there's a bus stop for bus route 410 here? Frankly, I don't know. I told Olga I had some matters to urgently resolve here with you and that we'd come later. What? I felt like I'd been struck by lightning. I didn't know what I should be more surprised about, the fact that there are buses passing here, or by the fact that the camp leader agreed to leave two pioneers behind in to camp just like that. What I said. You mean that we can leave? Go on, no one's holding you. She said all that while sitting utterly still, in fact, so still that her words gave me grave cold chills. Okay, I'm sorry I reacted that way. That was it? Fine. I'm sorry I reacted that way. It's just everything that has happened today has been a total surprise for me. You didn't look too surprised a few hours ago. I probably said something wrong. Completely wrong. Well, don't get offended. We won't be staying here till the end of times, right? If there's a way to leave. Lena didn't say anything. I looked at her back and tried to understand what she was thinking. Fine, she exclaimed cheerfully after a pause, and then jumped off the bed and started to dress quickly. Come on, pack your stuff, meet me in the square in 10 minutes. Lena leaned over and gave me a passionate kiss. I've seen this already. All right. Stepped out of her cabin and ran to the camp leader's cabin. Frankly speaking, I had almost nothing to pack. Plus my phone in, 15 minutes had passed, but still Lena wasn't here. This is new. She was waiting on her the last time, I think. I justified it with the fact that she has lots of stuff to pack and accordingly she needs much more time to get ready. However, she didn't even in half an hour, so I started to suspect something. My legs ushered me to her cabin before I realized it. Flung the door open and saw Lena lying on the bed. Everything around her was soaked with blood. Holy shit, the bed sheets, the blanket, the floor was wet with blood, and I can see a huge slit on Lena's forearm. Doesn't happen that fast. Here, our first suicide. So I guess all of them, the bad ending is suicide, that the girls commit suicide. That's the disclaimer at the start. I ran to her and started shaking her by her shoulders. Lena, why? She was still conscious. Yeah, exactly. Hi, Semyon. A weak smile froze on her lips. Hang on. Hey, don't you pass out. I'll think of something right now. Listen, everything is gonna be fine. You're not going to die. Of course, I didn't believe it myself. Lena had slit her veins from her elbows all the way down to her wrist. It was a deep cut, and given all the time I've spent waiting for her at the square, she'd bled a lot. Probably even an ambulance wouldn't do anything by now, and here in the camp empty, away from the world, Lena had zero chance of survival. Really? How stupid can you be? I embraced her and held her tightly. Tears were running down my cheeks, disappearing in her hair. I never cried so hard in my entire life. Fool, why did you have to cut down the road? Everyone else does it across the street. And you cut down the road? Oh, right. Down the road, along the street. Sorry. It happened as it did. She muttered faintly. But why? Why? I'm tired. And I went silent. I looked straight into her eyes. She was still conscious, but the last flicker of life was quickly dying in her. I'm so tired of it all. Wearing a mask, suffering. I just wanted to be with you. But you've left me too. I never went anywhere. Here I am. Why? What have you done? I'm sorry. I was choked with tears, unable to say anything. I'm sorry. I'll be seeing you later. I embraced her even tighter. Anna's breath was getting weaker, and soon enough it stopped forever. Horror-struck, I jumped away from the bed. My eyes went dark, my heart was beating wildly. I spotted the blood-stained knife lying on the floor. A moment later I was holding it in my hands. The blade halted a hair's breadth away from my wrist. But why? How would that help? I sat there completely freaked out and just stared at Lena. No, you aren't dead. I exploded with hysterical laughter. Come on, sleepyhead, it's time to wake up. I said softly, shook her by the shoulders, but Lena did not wake up. What have I done? I jumped out of the cabin in horror and ran like mad. I don't know how much time passed, but I finally wore myself out and collapsed on the ground. Hostile silence was all around me, and only the stars looked down at me in quiet rebuke. These were the same stars that Lena admired yesterday. Yet another crying spell tore me apart. Why? Why did you do it? Because I left her? Where had I gone? I never left her, and I wasn't going to. Only at this moment did I realize she was truly important to me. I realized that despite all her quirks, everything that had happened today, everything that had happened during the short period of our acquaintance, she'd suddenly become the most precious thing in my life. And I instantly forgot about her feelings, as soon as I'd heard about that damned bus. Indeed, it can't justify her act, but how could I have stopped thinking about her at all? I lay there for a long time watching the stars. The trees were peacefully swaying in the gentle night's breeze above my head. The trees didn't give a damn about what was happening to me. The landscape seemed familiar. Suppressing my tears, I headed back towards the camp. Everything here seemed to be the same as yesterday, a few days ago. The square, Genda's memorial, the cabins of the pioneers, Lena's cabin. I was all torn up inside. It felt like the pain would tear my body in a million little pieces. Any moment now. I fell to my knees and began punching the ground until my fists were completely stained with blood. If only I realized just a bit earlier, just a moment earlier, not asking for more. She was so, even the slightest hints was enough for her. Only at this moment did I realize that Lena had died, and a part of me had died with her. Probably the part of me that I would call the best. I came to my senses after a while, standing in her cabin. The blood had dried up already, the moonlight was no longer reflected in it. I went to her bed and sat down next to Lena's body. I was terribly afraid to be here, but I felt I had to tell her something. I'm sorry, I started. It's far too late, of course, but if you can hear me out there somewhere, just remember, please, I will love you forever for the rest of my life. And that was the plain truth. I'm sorry that I ignored your feelings. I'm sorry that I always thought only about myself. I'm sorry for everything. It was me who should have died, not you. I covered her body with a blanket and slowly left the cabin. Yeah. I mean, I've had deaths, people I've known for more than a week, close friends. And then, close acquaintances that has killed themselves. People that I know, and sometimes you get thoughts like that, like, damn it, Could have done better, you know? Why oh why? Like regrets. You get regrets when people kill themselves. Commit suicides. I covered her body with a blanket and slowly left the cabin. I regained consciousness at a bus stop. So running away, scumbag, I muttered darkly to myself. I couldn't stand to stay a single minute longer in this camp. Lena will never come back. I can't justify what I have done. I'll just wait for the bus that will take me away from here. I didn't give the slightest damn about what was going to happen to me tomorrow or in an hour. I don't care about answers. I don't care about how I got here. Soon enough, I saw a glimmer of a dim light in the distance. Somehow, I wasn't surprised at all. In a minute, I was sitting in an empty number 410 bus, and I was looking into the dark of the night, a weather-beaten window. Didn't tell the shit. Such an asshole. He's still such an asshole. He didn't take her to the infirmary. Didn't try to save her. Even if she passed out, he didn't even try. He just started crying. And now it's oh, well, she's dead. It's all about me again. He just jumps on the bus, doesn't say anything to the driver or anything. He just gets on. My mind was blank. Everything that makes us human. But, one could argue that I'm being harsh here. He's in shock. It's had someone die in front of himself. He's in shock. He doesn't know what he's doing. And he's weird, so he just gets on the bus and just oh. He has that proclivity. He's an emotional wreck. Well, what's that called again? There's a trait. Do you feel emotions more strongly? Neuroticism? He's a bit neurotic. Like me, I'm a bit neurotic. So, well, we all are a bit, I guess, but so he's probably in an emotional shock. So I wouldn't call him an asshole in this situation. It's me calm reading a story. I don't react that way in this situation. But if I would find someone that killed himself, I have no idea. So I would react. But I think shock is a common reaction. Everything that makes us human, feelings, emotions, aspirations, suffering, I left all that back there in the pioneer camp, hitting shock. Now all I have is this night and the empty bus. There is no more future, no more present. If I die tomorrow, that would only mean that yet another human body has ceased to exist. The real me died there a few hours ago. I don't know how much time passed, but the fatigue overtook me. I wasn't going to fight it out, as it made absolutely no difference whether I'm sleeping or awake. I could barely hold my eyes open, and soon enough I passed out. Day ... It's gonna teleport back in time again. We did in the last one. There are moments when reality becomes unimportant, insignificant, unworthy of attention. There are moments when your spiritual torment overshadows everything else. And even if the world ended, you would not notice. If a knife were to pierce you, you would not notice. Even boiling for eternity in the cauldrons of hell would seem just like a minor convenience. After all, there are problems more important than that. When I opened my eyes, I realized something was wrong. It took a while for clarity or thought to return. Finally, I realized I'm not on the bus, but in my old apartment. Well, that was to be expected. As if I'd spent a whole week preparing for an exam and at the last minute had spectacularly failed, and the result of this failure was my return to the real world. However, now it didn't seem any more real to me than the Sovignok pioneer camp. No wonder reality is what you can hear, feel, touch, and taste. And all that was really there. That world was real to the smallest detail. Sometimes it seemed more like it was my past life than it was fiction. Yeah, I like that assessment. Ooh, a bit cold. Ooh. Finally got snow. Talking about the weather. And now I have to remember how to exist here. The why. I felt like a man who'd been thrown out of the car at full speed without even noticing it, and was left lying on the roadside with broken arms and legs while the car disappeared into the night, taking with it the last traces of hope. Nana, her image surfaced in my fevered brain so clearly that I wanted to cry unbearably. No, I wanted to shout, tearing out clumps of hair, smashing my fists on the wall while making human screams. However, my soul was empty. I tried in vain to find at least the echoes of pain, guilt, or pity for her, but nothing came. I was just lying here staring at the ceiling. I was not at all interested in how and why I came back. After all, who cares about the process of selling your soul to the devil? All the legal formalities of the contract, signatures, stamps, and seals. What is more important is the result. It is, though, isn't it? Well, I don't quite agree with that, I don't think. Sometimes results are more important, but intentions. I do care a lot about intentions. That is important to me. And this is the result I got. Breaking the fourth wall, are we? No, it's not that I was sent back to reality. If I had gotten to the destination on that bus, I would have hardly changed anything for me. In this case, the result is what happened to Lena. And the reason is my actions. I was absolutely sure about that. After all, she could not just do that for no reason. No, Lena is not like that. So it is all my fault. It is hard to live knowing that you were the reason for someone else's death. Oh, his mind is going back to his depressed state. It's all my fault. And it really highlights like the similarity, but how narcissistic you become when you are depressed. It's all my fault. It's all about me. And I mean, it's even worse since the author, where it's a book about him, so it is all about him. But like in real life, it's not all about us, right? We think like this, that it's all my fault, but it's not. As if I personally held the knife exactly, calmly and carefully slit open her wrists and watched her die, and then just ran away. Of course, I couldn't do anything in that situation, but I still felt that I'd behaved like a coward. No, even worse. Although, does it really matter what the best definition of my action is? I cursed myself for remaining so calm while thinking about this situation. After all, I should be mourning Lena and blaming myself. You are blaming yourself, dude. And you are mourning. But now, nothing is up to me. If I was not able to back then, I started shivering, my body was trembling, and it was getting hard to breathe. Self-preservation instincts overtook guilt for a while, and I staggered to the kitchen to drink a sedative. They can always be found in the cupboard of every antisocial person like me. Well, if he's back to being the person he was at the start of the game, I have many of the character flaws that he has. I don't think I'm as big of an asshole. Perhaps I am. It's difficult to say. But I don't have these pills in the cupboard, I don't think. Well, I've had. No, here we go. During my depression, of course. If we switch this word out, because he's not really antisocial, is he? He's depressed. And depressed people usually get pills. Sometimes they work. Once I'd taken half of the tablets that were in the pocket, I returned to the room and turned on the computer. Remaining in silence was unbearable. I played the first random song and soon realized it was probably the most depressing piece of music I had on my hard drive. Nice. However, I did not turn it off. It wasn't random. It was like listening to depressing music when you're feeling bad and grieving. It's coping. The background noise helped me dampen my thoughts. I had to decide what to do with my next life. It goes soon. I was sure about one thing. Everything that happened in the camp, my appearance in it, my unexpected return, I didn't care about any of it. Have I gotten any messages? No. Not just that, I didn't care about the context or the reasons for those events either. The only thing that mattered was Lena. Actually, I know this is a terrible spot to end, but I really need to go. I have errands. So we'll continue this tomorrow, and we'll get this ending, and then we'll probably look for another ending. Probably, yeah.